Hello and welcome to Time Flies. Now, if you are interested in pilot watches, aviation themed watches in general, military watches or field watches, but you're operating on a tight budget, then you've come to the right place. Over the next few weeks, we're going to be taking a look at watches from my own personal collection, all of them below £200, some of them used, some of them new, but all of them military themed. So let's get into today's video, and we're going to be looking at the AVi-8 watch. This one is the Hawker Hurricane spinning roundel. But before we open up the box, let me just explain that I have taken a look on the AVi-8 website, and this watch I purchased it back in 2017. It's now 2021, so it's 4 years old, and I can't see this particular model as being available on their website. But it is available. I've seen it used on eBay and other selling sites. You know, who knows, maybe if you contact AVi-8 and say, look, I'm really interested in this watch, who knows, maybe they'll begin to produce them again. But let's get into the watch review. Now, we all have watches in our collection that come and go, but this one is a keeper. It's one of the first watches that I ever bought, and I really do like it. So let's take it out of the box. Let's get rid of the box for a moment. Put that over there. Okay, so I do need to explain that when this watch was new, it came on a lovely leather AVi-8 strap. But it's been 4 years, that watch strap's taken quite a bit of beating, and I've since replaced it with a NATO strap. Now, I actually prefer NATO straps. I know it's a love-hate thing. Maybe you prefer the leather strap, but it's easy enough to change it in or change it out if that's what you prefer. So let's get into the watch. Let me put up some stats for you here on the screen. So the watch has a 42mm case. So 42 millimeters. That's not including the crown. It has 22mm lugs, and from lug to lug, it's 53 millimeters. It has a depth of 12 millimeters, not including the strap there. The case is stainless steel. It has a brushed bezel, fixed bezel. The sides of the case are polished, as you can see there, polished. A lovely onion crown, very evocative of early aviation and military watches. You can see there on the crown as well, there's that nice bit of detail with the blue and the red, which reflects the roundel here on the dial, which we'll get into in just a little while. The glass is sapphire. It's a single domed with AR coating, which means it's anti-reflective. Now you can see it's single domed because you see how that still distorts it, but I actually think that in some way it really adds to the interest of the watch. I am biased, I really do like this one. Now looking at the face here, so it's a chronograph, but one thing that really held my attention is really the reason that I purchased this is the beautiful detail. You can see there's so many levels to this, so many depths. So here along the bottom and there along the top, you can see that it's recessed. And in the right lights, the shadows just really come into their own. It really gives it depth. Also, we have a nice little date window here. It is very small, but it's nice and deep. Again, adding to the depth, you have the Hawker Hurricane there, front elevation of it, and Hawker Hurricane written above it. And of course, and this is really the selling point, and what gives the watch its name, is the roundel here at the 12 o'clock position. So, all in all, I think it's a beautiful watch. It weighs in at just 2.3 ounces or 65 grams. So quite weighty, I suppose, for its size. But and considering it's a quartz movement, a Seiko quartz movement, it is quite heavy. But again, I like the feeling of that weight on my wrist. I do like to know that I'm wearing it. And just if you're interested, the strap that this is on, this NATO strap, this is a Newmark strap. I just thought I'd try it. Generally, I use Zulu diver straps, but this one is Newmark, and it is a beautiful strap. It's still quite stiff because it's new. I thought I'd replace the strap out for this video, but it is really nice quality. So you might want to check them out. I will leave a link for Newmark below. So let's take a look at the functions of the watch. So it's obviously a chronograph. Normally the 1/10 of the second here would have a dial with a little subhand, but that's been replaced with the spinning roundel, which we'll get to in just a moment. And then you have a duplicate second hand. So you have the main second hand here and a duplicate one and the dial here at 6 o'clock. And the 3 o'clock here is minutes. So let's just go ahead and press this button. Let me just get it a bit closer for you. So if we press this, you can see that the 1/10 of a second roundel begins to spin, and it does create some interest there. There's quite a lot of drama going on. Now, that will keep spinning for a minute. So as this minute hand clicks around to the next minute, that will just abruptly stop. It can be reset here and then start again at the top. So we'll just leave that running. It's kind of addictive, you know. When you're wearing this watch, you just keep on setting the roundel spinning. It's a nice feature. I haven't seen it on any other watch. And actually, it's a really good conversation starter. It's a real conversation piece. You know, you wear this out for a meal, someone catches sight of your watch, and it's just a great introduction. If you want to talk about aircraft or watches, as I love to do, then this is just a great piece. And let me just take the strap off here and show you the rear of the watch. Let me just take that off. That's what I love about the NATO style straps. They're quick to change. So let's lift that out of the way. So there on the back, you can see the Hawker Hurricane, and that it's an all stainless steel case, that it's 50 meters water resistant, and you can see the serial number just down there at the bottom and the AVi-8 logo there at the top. What else can I say? I mean, it is a beautiful watch. I do very much enjoy wearing it. Let me just get this back through and I'll show you it on my wrist. Put that through there. Just place it down. I'm just, at the moment, I'm wearing a Hamilton khaki. Now, I know what you're thinking is that Hamilton khaki, that is not a sub 200 watch. But this one I bought used. Let me get the strap off of here. But we'll come back and we'll do a review on that. I know this has had it's been had you know, so many people have done so many reviews on the Hamilton khaki mechanical field watch. So we won't get into that right now, but just to say that it is a gorgeous watch. I do like that, but we'll come back to that one another day. So let's take this one on. I'm just going to put it over the top here. Get this strapped on my wrist for you. Get it done up. And you can see what that looks like. Okay, there we go. So there it is on my 7-inch wrist. I don't think it sits too big. I mean, one thing you do notice is those larger lugs. If you did have a smaller wrist, then that might be a problem. But I don't think you'd want anything bigger than this on a 7-inch wrist. Yeah, it's comfortable. It does have a bit of weight to it, as I mentioned. But I just love those depths on the dial there. Really evocative of the aviation theme that it's trying to pick up on. Now, AVi-8, in their blurb on their website, they mentioned that their designs are coming together of the input from pilots, designers, and mechanics. And I really think that really does come across. There's something about it that reflects that early years of aviation, especially the vintage roundel there. I mean, that's just a great point. Why AVi-8 stopped making this one, I really don't know, but there it is. Anyway, that's my review. Actually, let's just do one thing before we finish the review. Strengths and weaknesses. I think we've already talked about the strengths. Weaknesses, I think for someone with a smaller wrist, this could be, you know, it could put you out of the running for this one because of the width there, lug to lug width. That's the only thing I can spot. Also, the loom, it does have loom. It has loomed hands and loomed indices, but, well, they're not really worth mentioning. The loom is pretty weak on there. But then again, this is not the sort of watch that you would wear as a field watch. It is a dress watch. You don't really need loom for those sort of occasions. One other thing worth mentioning is this high polished edge to the watch. can pick up scratches really easily. So again, you won't want to wear this watch when you're changing the oil on your Spitfire. You won't want to change this watch when you're working on your car or doing the garden. This really is a dress watch, even though it has that beautiful sapphire crystal that, as you can see, even after 4 years, isn't scratched, isn't damaged. I mean, just held up beautifully. The case itself, that could take scratches quite easily. I've always been careful with this, but I can imagine, that could be an issue. So that would be my low points. Up points are, it has to be the design of the face of the watch. I mean, that is just gorgeous. The depth to it, the different levels to it. There's so much going on there. There's so much to take in. Even now, after having it for 4 years, I look at it and I notice different elements to the watch face. I like how the numbers there, or in white, they almost blend in, but when you look for them, they really, they really jump out. Just a great watch. So hopefully you've really enjoyed this video. Hopefully you found it inspiring. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear your comments. Do you own one of these watches? Have you owned one? Have you seen them for sale anywhere? What you like about it? What you dislike about it? Maybe what other watches in the AVi-8 line are you wearing? I know they do a range of different aircraft-focused watches. There's the Spitfire. There's the Harrier, the Hunter. I know they do the Flyboy range. There's a whole host of different watches. Which one do you wear? Which one do you prefer, and why? So if you've enjoyed this video, if you've found it helpful, can I ask you to click the like button and maybe subscribe below? I have some more videos coming up. I've got a number of watches on order that I'm looking forward to sharing with you. But thanks very much for joining me. I hope to see you soon. There you go. One last look. Take care, guys. Bye now.